about Ukraine. In 2014, Tori Newland engineered a coup in Ukraine in the name of democracy, of course. So she is a highly informed source about Ukraine. So she was having this colloquy with Senator Marco Rubio of Florida during her testimony. And at one point, Rubio took a tack that we were not expecting at all. He asked Newland if Ukraine had biological weapons. We never imagined Ukraine would have biological weapons. Why would Ukraine have bioweapons? So it seemed like a pretty strange question. But it wasn't half as shocking as the answer he got. Watch what Tori Newland said.
Does Ukraine have chemical or biological weapons?
Ukraine has biological research facilities, which, in fact, we are now quite concerned Russian forces may be seeking to gain control of. So we are working with the Ukrainians on how they can prevent any of those research materials from falling into the hands of Russian forces should they approach.
Does Ukraine have biological weapons? Ukraine has biological research facilities. What? You mean secret biolabs? Like the secret biolabs Ukraine definitely doesn't have? Ukraine has those? Yes, it does. And not only does Ukraine have secret biolabs, Tori Newland said, whatever they're doing in those labs is so dangerous and so scary that she is, quote, quite concerned that the so-called research material inside those biolabs might fall into the hands of Russian forces.
I'd like to thank Heavenly for the opportunity to be able to see you guys. I hope all of you are doing well. I'm doing well. I hope you caught that bit what I just Secretary of State. I hope you caught that. If you haven't, I roll it back and then catch up with me after that. Because what I'm talking about is normally what's in the title. Nothing happening. Same old thing. I'm chilling. I'm alive. Trying to get to work. Well, later on, I'm doing a couple things before I go to work. But I need you to roll back and listen to what the Secretary of Defense just said. In the meantime, I'm going to move on. Thanking the Heavenly for the opportunity to be able to move on right now. Right now. Okay? Y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up, and you better wake up fast. You're going to catch yourself and your family going to be in a bad position, and you're going to wish you had listened to me and other people who know what's really going on. In the meantime, though this really don't mean too much right now with all that's going on in the world and the setup of a war that's been set up to protect some stuff in Ukraine that the Russians knew about, and that's what it's really about, has nothing to do with nothing except the United States got some biolabs over there. Russia knew about it, and that is going over there to take care of business. That is crazy, and they told you a lie, because the Democrats will always lie to you because they're devils, and that's exactly what they are. Take it for what it is. Scent of woods, oak and bourbon, fresh, spicy, warm, spicy, anise, lavender, soft, spicy, aromatic, floral, fresh, herbal, and powdery. The last thing you're thinking about right now, because the United States got a microbiological weapons lab over in Ukraine, and that's why we started this. Ginger, Madagascar pepper, star anise, lavender, geranium, guaiac wood, oak, and Haitian vetiver. That's what this is, okay? Well, it's more about resources, bro. This has nothing to do with resources. This bad boy here is pretty obvious, and it doesn't take a scientist to figure out what's going on. They raise the gas prices because they want to convince you that you need to either be broke, you're going to be poor, and you're going to like it, and you're going to buy an electric car, even though you can't afford it. That means you can't afford a $75,000 and up electric car unless it's used, and you're going to have to pay the taxes if you continue to ride around with gas. And that's all this is. It was set up from the get-go. It was set up from last year. It was set up from the time they tried to impeach Trump. This has been running. It's supposed to happen when Hillary was in office, but unfortunately, Hillary didn't get in office, and now this is what you got. You got evil freaking Democrats and the elite puppet masters doing this, and that's what it's all about. Keep it real with yourself. Now, I can smell the ginger and the pepper. Really nice, but something really sweet is coming in. Maybe it's the star anise that's coming in because there's some sweet. And usually ginger's not sweet. And I've been eating and whatever a lot of ginger. You know? Yeah, it must be the star anise that's giving it this sweetness. And you got the lavender, geranium, and guaiac wood. So basically it's showing this as a list of notes that's going to go all the way across the board. It's going to remain consistent. It's going to be a linear fragrance. And hold on a second. Because I need to know who is out here banging. All right, homeboy? Yeah. Try to be a little bit quieter, man. Just slamming boys on the freaking in the middle of the hallway. What's wrong with you? Just lay them down. Tell you, man, some people don't have any couth. They don't care about nobody but themselves, and that's what this world is about. The Democrats don't care about nothing but themselves. They had an agenda. Satan made this agenda for them. Satan allowed them to get in office. Satan allowed them to fool you because you always getting fooled by Satan. And now this is what we get because you guys, whoever you are who's watching this video, voted for this, and this is what you got. This is what you asked for. So spray up, smell good. Pascal Guerin made this right here. And spray up and smell good for the day. In the meantime, I'm prepping. Because they're going to have me in a FEMA camp. I'm going to be straight. You're going to be in a FEMA camp because you're voted to be in a FEMA camp. And whether you like it or not, don't blame me. Blame the Secretary of State. Would you like to hear it again? I'll bring it back to let you hear that they have a biological weapons situation in Ukraine.
So it seemed like a pretty strange question.
They didn't tell you
But
this.
it wasn't half as shocking
But
as
Marco
the
Rubio
answer.
found out.
Watch what Toya Newland said.
Here it come again. Because you didn't hear.
Have chemical or biological weapons?
Ukraine has biological research facilities, which in fact we are now quite concerned Russian forces may be seeking to gain control of. So we are working with the Ukrainians on how they can prevent any of those research materials from falling into the hands of Russian forces should they approach.
So forget all the stuff that you're talking about, because what you're saying does not address what you're listening to. See, this is the problem with Democratic people. This is the problem with people getting bamboozled. You don't listen to what's being said, and you need to react to what was just said. The question is, what are we doing with biological research labs in Ukraine? And did the Biden administration know about it? That's the question you ask. Forget about the Most High. That's fine. We already know that. Stop. That's too surface. We need to figure out how these people are bamboozling us, going to mess around and kill us all because they was doing some stuff that Russia knew about. Russia felt threatened. What if Russia put a biological lab in Cuba? Remember back in the day, you're probably not old enough to remember the Cuban Missile Crisis. And I was 2 years old. And they was about to push the button. Because the Soviet Union had put missiles in Cuba. What's the difference with the United States putting a biological research lab in Ukraine next to Russia? I'm not Russia. I'm just saying it makes sense to me. You're going to protect yourself. You ain't going to try to kill us. You're going to release some bioweapon over into Russia and kill everybody in Russia? And dudes supposed to sit there and just stand by? Did JFK sit back and stand by when the Russians put the friggin' missiles in Cuba? People try to protect themselves, man. And the Democrats are dirty. And the people who behind the Democrats are dirty. And the people who voted for the Democrats are responsible. Through the cheating, through it all. Because it's supposed to have been done. So you got 4 years of going through hating Trump when he was your savior. Because he wouldn't have stood up for this. And he wouldn't have no biological weapons over in Ukraine. So now you got to pay more for gas. Because they got biological weapons in Ukraine that the Soviet Union know about, and now they trying to get to them so they can destroy their crap before it kill their own people. That's the story. And they lied to you like they lied to you that they won the election. And don't feel responsible if you voted for Biden and the crew. Don't feel too responsible, but you voted for him. Because it didn't matter whether you voted for him or not, really. This had to happen. Like 9/11 had to happen. Like going into Iran. Another Russian point. Why are you going into Iran? Iran had nothing to do with 9/11. Perfect example, like Democrats always do. Never let a crisis go to waste. Not only can we go in Iraq and take all the oil, we can now institute cameras all over the world. The bada bing, bada boom. Well, if that's what you agree to, that's fine. So the issue is this Democratic Party that's in here now. So don't matter. It does matter now because Democrats is in here now. So if you want to say Republican, what happened with Republicans? Well, that's not the case because Republicans are not in office right now. So Biden, go ahead and take the blame. Now, of course, people will try to bail out Biden to finally say, now, well, Biden don't know what he's doing. It's not really Biden. It's the puppet masters that's controlling him. It's Soros. It's Gates. It's Facebook. It's all them that's controlling them. Yeah, and you can do that now, but you wasn't doing that before this happened. But now that you really know what the game is about biological weapons in Ukraine. Now that you really know what this is about, what you going to do? You better be getting yourself prepped up. Get me a generator. Get ready to get me some gas cans. Because you can sit there and play the game and hoping Biden and the rest of the Democrats are going to get you out of trouble. But right now, they can care less about you. How many press conferences have you watched? Fauci, whatever her name is, talk about y'all just need to sacrifice. How many times have y'all been brainwashed by CNN? Oh, people are willing to sacrifice. I ain't willing to sacrifice nothing. They just tell you anything. CNN watchers and MSNBC talking Muppets. They say the same thing in every station. They want to brainwash you, but they can't get everybody. And they're those who are going to stand above this foolishness, and we're going to survive, and we'll watch you march to the FEMA camps. We'll be happy to watch you march to the FEMA camps, because if you help cause this, then you need to be where your people at, in the FEMA camps. While the rest of us patriots are going to be out here, and we're going to be fighting to survive, to get this country back, to get rid of these evil presences, and we can get to November where we can vote out all the Democrats, the Democrats, we're going to be all right. So take this video for what it's worth. You better start prepping. I already have. Because some other stuff I got to get today. I got to get gas cans and stuff like that. Start prepping. Get my lanterns. Because when they cut the lights out, and they are going to cut the lights out, and they're going to claim it's Russia that EMP the lights out, they're going to cut the lights out. What are you going to do for one day? Because a lot of you are going to jump off a bridge and you can't be on Facebook, especially the females. They're going to lose their mind. They can't be on Facebook. And their boyfriend not cheating because now the lights ain't out and now he can go screw anything he want. Just being sarcastic. If the lights went out day number 2, no computer, no nothing, no electric, nothing, what are you going to do? Day number 3, you're going to be panicking. You're either going to be out there with the zombies. You know how people I saw shooting up in Center City, Philly yesterday when I was getting off the train to go to class? They got needles sticking all out their arms, sticking needles out their head, needles in their legs. Nothing but freaking zombies out here right now. And the zombies going to wake up and they're coming because that's the way the Democrats wanted it. They wanted to bring a lot of people in here, didn't give them no jobs, gave them a place they can shoot up for free. They can get the heroin for free and everything at particular places. And then they let them out amongst us. And now they're on our train system. They're here, they're there, they're everywhere walking around with needles in their arms every day, especially in the transit systems. And it's crazy. And you don't think you're good because you may live in the suburbs somewhere and you're like, oh, don't bother me. It filters down, baby. Sometimes the down going to come up. And we see them zombies with them needles coming up to your crib trying to get something to eat. But you ain't going to be ready anyway. You ain't going to have nothing to eat because you don't believe what I'm telling you. You ain't going to be prepped. So they don't need for them coming here looking for anything you got, so they might as well just kill you because you ain't got nothing to give them. You ain't got nothing to barter. Yo, man, if I give you a can of beans, man, when you get up out my face with your needles, man, you and your zombie homies, bam, here's a can. Here, I'm going to give you a little bit of money, give you some freaking quarters and dimes and get you up out of here. But you're not going to be able to do that because you're going to try to give them $1 and even bums and even drug addicts know $1 ain't worth nothing. And they ain't going to take your money because they can't buy no weed or they can't buy no heroin, whatever, with dollars. I ain't going to tell you no more.